Morning, children. This one is for the ladies. Unlike all my vodcasts, vlogs, I hate the word blog. I hate the word vlog. It just, couldn't we have come up with something better 10 years ago? Alternative media journalist, something, I don't know. But anyway, this one's for the girls. And if you're not familiar with this site, this is a harsh disciplinarian site. This is your tough fatherly love site. I'm not going to kiss your ass like Oprah, and consequently what is delivered here is infinitely more helpful and practical than the ass-kissing, brown-nosing lies that Oprah and the media tell you, all right? I wake up this morning. It was 8:40, which is early for me. I wasn't even up more than 40 minutes. I log into my system, because you got that process, you know, you got the system. You can't just, like, get up, go run, do stuff. You got to wake up a little bit, you know. You got to get that Diet Coke in your system, or your Red Bull, or your coffee. Then maybe you migrate to the shower. Whatever you guys do. But for me, you know, you got the process here. The engine is barely warming up. Why another day? God Lord. And I check into my system, my Twitter account, my email, and someone has sent me this thing from, what's the name of it? We set you up with 31 different components, eHarmony, that site. And they have a title, or an article titled, Why You Should Date Single Mothers. And it goes to the same fucking crap that we've been having shoved down our throats for about the past 10 years. Because there's a lot of single mommies out there, and they can't find no guys, and there should be nothing wrong with being a single mother. It's heroic. It's heroic. She is a strong, independent woman that collects WIC, EBT, unemployment, welfare, has her children education financed by the property taxes I pay even though I don't have children. They're not independent. Right? Whatever, I'm sidetracking. So, this is a video not for them, but for you younger girls who don't have kids yet, because you're savable. I don't want to say salvageable, because it indicates that you've incurred damage. You can be prevented from making probably the worst mistake of your life. I'm trying to think of what is worse than bringing a kid into this world where there isn't going to be a father around, either out of naivete, because you married the wrong guy, or you just had a one-night fling and were stupid enough not to use birth control. I'm trying to think of a more damaging thing you could do to your life than bring an illegitimate child into this world. And I mean, bar obvious things like, drugs, or, you know, something that's you know, meth, something that's horribly wrecking on your life. I can't think of anything worse. Hell, I think having a kid out of wedlock and without a father, it probably causes more damage than meth. Probably, right? So let me explain to you girls that are still capable of being inoculated against what would be probably the worst thing, or the worst disease, whatever you want to call it. And I am calling that, yes, I am calling that, ladies who have illegitimate children, it's a disease. Right? You having children without a father around, or you got married, and let's get divorced. Well, you know, the South Park thing, you guys watch South Park? Where Kyle's mom explains what divorce is all about. And she says, well, you see, when I say you're the most important thing in my life as a single mom, I mean you're the most important thing in my life behind my new romances, my job, But in any case, back to the original point. Ladies, here's what I'm talking. Girls, if you don't mind me calling you, because I'm going to assume you're younger. Whatever the media is telling you right now, like eHarmony, like what you see on the TV, like what you see on the... It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit, okay? Single moms are not heroic. They're not something to be enamored. They're not something to be like idealized or modeled. They're failures. They've screwed up. And I have single moms who are friends, and I love them to death, but they know it. They know, yeah, I screwed up. And they actually have the intellectual honesty and heart and compassion to feel shame and guilt for what they brought their kids through. Okay? Now, I'm fortunate to have, well, I'm not fortunate, I'm very picky in who I choose to have within my circle of friends. So these are probably the elite and the more intellectually honest ones. But what the media is conveying, what you might hear from your friends, is that single motherhood is like this great thing, and you're all empowered, look at it, you see the TV and all. No, it's not. Now, you can go ahead and be a single mother if you want. And, it's all empowering. I'm going to do in vitro, whatever, however you get to that stage in life. And you could be successful and happy if you don't want any men in your life. But if you do want a man in your life, right there, see, I know what's happening. You say, well, I don't need a man. Take that brainwashing you've received from feminism, take that bullshit you received in K through 12 education, get rid of it, and ask yourself a very simple question. Very simple question every girl, every woman should ask before spitting children out into this world. Do you want the affection and the company, marriage, potentially, of a man? Do you want that? Do you want a husband? Do you like having men around? Would you like a man in your life? If that is the case, then the single worst thing you can do is spit out some other man's child. Okay? I don't care what the media says. I don't care what your teachers say. I don't care what your professors say. I don't care what anybody else says. Me as a normal heterosexual male, we're taking gays out of it, no offense to my gay brothers and sisters, as a normal straight, and talking to all the other men, you have some other guy's child, frankly, go fuck yourselves. Right? Oh, that's so hard. That's real. Go fuck yourselves. That is, I'm being so crass and mean because I want it to burn into your mind just what damage you cause to yourself and your statistics and your probabilities of finding a real man. If you bring another man's child into this world, that's his problem. That's a huge liability. Kids cost $250,000 to raise until the age of 18. That's assuming you don't pay for college. And then you come along, well, I'm an independent single mother, and I want you. And then well, my child comes first. Yeah, good, as it should. It should. Your child should come first. We don't play second fiddle. Bye. Find a single father. And I just did a recent study, find out there's a shortage of 15 million single fathers. In any case, so here's the deal, ladies. If you want a man in your life, do not have another man's child unless you intend on that man being the man in your life. It's very simple. Now, if you think, and I understand, especially younger, you're led to believe that there is no wrong you can do, and that men like me are shallow and stupid, and how dare you judge me for being a single mother, Hey, ladies, don't lecture me about reality. The reality is, the fact is, men don't like other men's children. Not that we hate the kid, or we're not bringing other men's children up. That's how it is. One, from a moral ground, that's not my kid. Why the fuck do I gotta pay for it? But then there's also the biological Darwinistic aspect, if you want to get into it. I want to propagate my genes, if you believe in it. Why the hell am I helping you bring up some other man's genes? That right there is on a visceral level. And no amount of media and Sex in the City and you go girlism is going to change that genetic, biological, millions of years worth of evolutionary fact. Okay? So you have this one, you were born, mommy and daddy got to hear, woo, and then there you came. That was sex and birth in 9 months of that in about a second and a half. You're here, and you have this one shot in life not to fuck up, basically. I think that make a nice new book, my next new book, Not to Fuck Up. And you now get to perform. Hey, what are you going to do with this short 80 years of life that you got on this planet that's been here for 4 billion? If you decide to get knocked up, bring some other guy's child into this planet, well, good. Higher quality men are not going to be sticking around. We're going to be like, we're going to go for the non-single mom, the single woman without children, the childless woman. That's where we're going to go, because we'd like our child to be our own. Right? And what you're really doing when you go, you're asking for charity. Could you help raise my other? And don't tell me he pays child support. Don't tell me that. We still got to deal with the kid. We still got to expend effort and labor dealing with the kid. And frankly, on a very genetic, Darwinistic level, it's like, dude, you got some other guy's kids? Like, God, what? So, we got there. Now, the other thing, I'm going to put it into numerical terms so you really understand this. And then, hopefully you can advance your own life, advance your own cause, and prevent making yourself a very bad mistake. Assuming you want to have a man in your life, which 99% of you do. So don't give me don't give us it's as fake as the Maginot Line. Look it up. If you have, let's say you're an 8, you're a solid 8, you're pretty good looking. Guys say, hey, look at that. I'd tap that. I'm gonna go after that. You're also gonna have a lot more potential suitors. Guys say, hey, you know what? I got to wake up to next to something every morning. I might as well be that than something less. You have a kid. I had to sit and think about this. Like, okay, how much of a penalty, how much of a deduction against a woman on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a deduction would I give if she had some other guy's child? Not in terms of physical beauty. There could be very pretty hot moms. I'm not saying from a sexual standpoint. I'm saying from a commitment standpoint. Your market value goes from, let's say you're the 8. I sat and thought about, you're a 5. You're quite average. You're nothing that I would go after. Not me personally, but any guy, I'm talking with other men. You can really impair your ability to find another man. Okay? So you think about that. Now, you'll want preferably the hottest guy available, the hottest guy possible. So you'd like to have an 8. Would you go after a 5? Because that's your new market. Look at guys you view. Let's say you're an 8. Let's say whatever you are. All right, go to hotornot.com. Get a true assessment of yourself. Don't put up fake pictures when I'm holding a puppy. Put up a normal picture of yourself. Get that rating. Now subtract 3. And that will give you your rating if you're a single mom. Now look at men who have that same rating. So if you're an 8, you subtract the 3, you're a 5. Go look at men that have a 5 rating on hotornot.com. That's what you're going to attract. That's your new market. Those are the guys. Or they're 8s who have criminal records, although some women find that sexy. Actually, most women do, but I don't make up the rules. I just mock and ridicule them. I'm trying to think what would actually, because bad boys in crime are good. That actually would take an 8 and boost them to a 9.7. Let's take, I'm trying to think of something that would be really pansy. Oh, what does he do? There's nothing you can really look. Okay, take a guy who's a 7 on hotornot.com, and you meet him at a bar. So he's a solid 7, and he texts you constantly. And he brings you flowers on the first date. Okay, like right there, he's down to what? 5, 4? He loses 2 or 3 points because he's needy and pathetic, right? That's the same thing. So, again, I'm not here to make you feel good in the short term. I'm not here to lie to you. I'm not here to tell you go, girl, and men are shallow if they don't, and I'm independent. I'm telling you the truth. Men who unfortunately constitute half the population, and if you want to get with them, you'd like to secure one in a long-term commitment, you're going to have to kind of abide with what they like. I know this. I know who thought of that. Like, you got to consider what men want. What fucking bigoted, sexist, misogynist bullshit is that? We got to think what men want? We have to incorporate that? I thought I could just stuff my face with bonbons and have other men's children, and then just freaking Clive Owen or Hugh Jackman would come over here and marry me. Oh, but yeah, unfortunately, you are going to have to consider what men want. And, this is a very important lesson for you girls out there because, and I'm being serious about this, not that I wasn't serious about the other thing, but I want you to listen to this. Please listen to this. You are currently right now being attempted to be brainwashed by people who are in media, education, government, and so forth. They want you to think that you can do no wrong. That if you're single, really, stop, try intellectual honesty. Step back. Look at how much media is going into the heroicness of single mothers. Have you heard anything about single fathers? No, because there's a 15 million person surplus of single, but that's aside. The reason they're doing it is they're trying to brainwash you. Oh, there's no consequences to having other men's kids. Do you really think that way? You really think so? So, take my advice. Because no matter what you see on TV or Sex and the City or whatever else, in the end, the single worst thing you can do to your life on many and multiple levels is to have an illegitimate child. Or some other man's child, then, you were married now, well, let's get divorced. Hey, it's done. Game over for you. Game freaking over. So, hopefully we learned something. Hopefully you were able to turn off emotion and think logic and listen, oh, this is what men want. That's it. If I want a man, I want that. And you're not going to yell at the 150 million American men in the country to go and change because you didn't feel a certain way. Instead, you said, 150 million American males feel this way? Then maybe I should change. Maybe I should consider what they like. Instead of yelling and screaming, misogyny, bigotry, whatever else you have. So, that's all we got. Toodles.